This group will round out our heat race action for the day. Then we roll into the main events. So if you're just joining us, once again, this is rounding out the heat races here at Rock Sonoma for race number 5. And this is the 100cc Masters class with our current leader, Josh Buttafuoco. We will be live streaming on YouTube today for the main events under the Rock Sonoma channel. You can also find live timing on Race Monitor or Race Hero. So once again, this is our 100cc Masters class. We are just getting set up for our video live production on the Rock Sonoma channel. So if you're just joining us on YouTube, keep in mind this is wrapping up the heat races. And your current race leader, Josh Buttafuoco. Followed by Daniel Rivera. Scott Fermanic is running in 3rd, Andrew Waite in 4th, and David Kao running in 5th. So Josh is going to bring our drivers around for 2 laps to go. So our current running order for the Masters 100cc class, Josh Budafuco is running in first, followed by Daniel Rivera, and Scott Fermanic is running in third. They are on their last lap. This will wrap up our heat race action for the day here at Rock Sonoma, race number 5. And for those just tuning in on YouTube, we are running the reverse sprint layout.
got me. Oh, you're all right. Thank you very much. Wow, thank you.
I figured you're not going to be able to leave.
No, I'm stuck here. Yeah, I'm stuck. Right. How many races there are? Usually? 5, 6? Yeah,
But the 700 carts
okay. Yeah.
are the last ones.
Okay.
The 700s.
That's not very good.
Well, you'll see it on the cart numbers.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, I didn't even know that.
Each class is a different
Number.
100 number.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, like the shifters will be 400s, where the last group will be 700s.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Huh? Been out here like 10 times. Didn't even remember.
Oh, yeah, it's a lot of numbers now. Yeah, then we gotta get that tab thing.
Yeah,
It's like
good.
literally right here, and like.
Give it a try.
Is there like a gel?
It's like a little.
We have a main event start time for 2:35. Our first class out will be the senior 100cc presented by OPI Builders. So we have a start time of 2:35 p.m. Earlier today in the heat races, the seniors had a lot of on-track dicing, so hopefully that carries over to the main events here. And once again, you can find the stream live on YouTube under the Rock Sonoma page. Share it with your family and your friends. Live timing is available on Race Monitor and Race Hero.
What it's called, but you'll see. They have an image of it. It's a very common strain. So yeah, they've got it. And maybe ask somebody if you know the band or something. Sell them. They'll know exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to get back on the golf course, man.
I know, priorities.
Yeah.
Gotta get that arm fixed.
Yeah, no, I shot like 2 weekends ago. I started kind of getting back into it. I played like something like 3 days in a row because I was just like, dude, I'm feeling it. And yeah, on the last day I shot like an 80, you know,
Yeah.
and I was just like, dude. And then all of a sudden it's just like,
The price.
So in our 100cc senior class brought to you by OPI Builders, your pole sitter is going to be cart number 919, Eddie Shimon. Off pole, cart 923, Mateo Sandoval. So once again, if you're joining us on YouTube, our scheduled start time is 2:35 for the main events here at Rock Sonoma race number 5. First up will be the senior 100cc class presented by OPI Builders. Then we will have the senior rock and the master rock class, followed by pro and master rock shifter presented by Altwell. Junior 100cc will be in the mid pack there. And then the 125 Shifter Limited presented by Altwell, followed by Micro in Mini Rock presented by SSI Racing. And wrapping up our day for our main events will be the Master 100cc class. So in the main events, Arminia Micros, they will run 15 laps. Rock Shifters will run 20 laps. And the Junior, Senior, Masters, and the limited 125 shifters, they will run 18 laps in the main event.
I don't think so. It's going to cool off pretty good here. Which is an upside.
And our 100cc senior carts are hitting the track. Once again, your pole sitter, Eddie Shimon, cart number 919. Off pole, Mateo Sandoval, cart number 923. Starting in third, Roman Madrigal, cart number 977. And fourth, Gino Sandoval, cart number 922. So Gino had a little bit of contact in the last heat race, which shuffled him back a couple of spots. So keep an eye on him because he was the fast cart on the track in the last heat race. Starting in fifth, JC Perez. Sixth, James Monaco, cart number 998. Then we have Christopher Martin, cart 911. Ryan Persing, 902. Ridgely Welsh, cart number 905. Michael Ting, cart number 986. Jack Harmuth, 906. Ayrton Tyler, cart 916. Yoshim Kapoor, cart 929. Gorgeous George, Giorgio, cart number 925. Ian Sivjan, cart number 924. Corey Sveen, cart 914. And rounding out our field, cart number 917 of Max Schmidt. So Eddie Shimon and Mateo Sandoval will bring our drivers onto the straightaway here. So Eddie Shimon has that bright fluorescent green helmet in the black and white GFC cart. Then we have Mateo Sandoval in the blue and white helmet in the orange and white cart. That is your front row. We have a green flag going into turn one. Looks like Roman gave a push to Shimon. That allowed Shimon to go through. We have contact. It looks like that's James Monaco. So that was around sixth spot where we had contact. So keep an eye on James Monaco. Let's see if he can work his way back up through the field. He's been fast all day long. But right now we have Eddie Shimon followed by Roman Madrigal, JC Perez, Mateo Sandoval, Christopher Martin, Jack Harmuth, and Ridgely Welsh. So Roman Madrigal, he is running the CRG chassis, running in second. His helmet is a dark color scheme, some red, some blue, some flat black. And behind him we have JC Perez with the cue ball helmet. So right now we're following our leaders from tic-tac-toe. And once again, we're going to keep an eye on James Monaco. Let's see if he can work his way back up into the top 5. Because currently he's sitting back in 15th. The nice thing about the live stream is we can go back and watch the racing and slow things down to see exactly what happened there in the middle of the pack on the start. But meanwhile, Eddie Shimon is still out in the lead, bringing the drivers through the new tic-tac-toe section. They're going through their backwards. Again, this is the reverse sprint track. Reverse sprint here at Sonoma. So Eddie Shimon's helmet really stands out here on screen. It's that white and fluorescent green helmet sitting in the GFC chassis. That's black and white. Oh, speaking of GFC, we have a driver further back in the field. Kart number 986. Michael Ting. He went drifting for a moment. Wrong sport, Michael. Michael Ting was actually one of our special guests last week on our NorCal Karters NorCal Mondays podcast. He was part of our Masters panel. He's been running pretty solid all day long. But back to our race here. Eddie Shimon is still out in the lead, followed by Roman Madrigal and JC Perez. So we're going to see if Eddie Shimon is able to work away from the pack a little bit. But Roman Madrigal has had his CRG on rails the past couple of races. He's consistently moved up through the pack. He's very happy with the new CRG product. But all year long, it's been Eddie Shimon has been the 100cc senior driver to beat. Looks like Madrigal's looking on the inside there for a moment. So the top three karts have stretched it out a little bit. They have about a 1 second lead over fourth place of Mateo Sandoval. So we have two Sandovals in this race. Mateo Sandoval and Gino Sandoval. They're brothers. But right now we're keeping attention on the lead. Roman Madrigal is applying pressure to Eddie Shimon. And we have a yellow caution. It looks like we have a driver off in the middle of tic-tac-toe. This has been the first time in a few races where Eddie Shimon has had a little bit of pressure in the main event. So we have Eddie Shimon, kart 919, as your leader. Roman Madrigal is in second, followed very closely by JC Perez. And the kart we have off is kart 917. That looks like that's the kart of Matt Schmidt. So here the drivers are going through that tic-tac-toe section here at Sonoma. If you're just joining us on YouTube, this is the reverse sprint track. And this year we've implemented the new tic-tac-toe section. So our top three have remained the same running order. Eddie Shimon, Roman Madrigal, JC Perez. And looking back in the results, it looks like JC Perez was actually DQ'd earlier in the day. All day long, he's been working to get back in that top 5 spot. And right now, he's running in 3rd after starting all the heat races from the back. So great hustle by JC Perez to find himself running in 3rd right now. Eddie Shimon's looking over his shoulder, and Roman Madrigal's right there. Looks like Michael Ting dropped another wheel further back in the field. It's not going to be on your camera, but we can see it right outside the tower here. Looks like Roman Madrigal is running a steady pace right now. Eddie Shimon and Roman Madrigal have a slight lead over 3rd place JC Perez. But JC Perez has about a 2-second lead over 4th. And the 4th place cart would be Mateo Sandoval, followed by Christopher Martin in cart 911. So once again, Eddie Shimon has that bright green helmet. Shows very well on the TV here, and he gives himself a little tap in the back of the head, telling Roman, come on, let's go. Roman goes to the inside of turn 1, nice and clean. Now Roman returns a gesture of, hey, no, you push me along the track. Let's see if Roman's able to pull away. We have 7 laps to go. So as they cross the start-finish line, Roman Madrigal made the pass for the lead. There's also a lot of racing action elsewhere on the track, but right now we're focused on the lead with Roman Madrigal in a CRG cart out in the lead, followed by Eddie Shimon in the GFC. And then we have JC Perez running in 3rd. And it looks like JC Perez might be on an Esprit cart, which is an OTK product. So 3 different manufacturers here in the 100cc senior class, brought to you by OPI Builders. And looking at our overall championship points, we were talking about Eddie Shimon all race long. He is your current points leader for the championship, followed by Christopher Martin and Roman Madrigal and JC Perez. That's your top 4 in the championship chase. That does not include any throwaway points or anything else. So right now, Roman Madrigal has about a 2/10 of a lead, which isn't much, over Eddie Shimon. But those drivers are about 8/10 ahead of JC Perez. We're going to have 5 laps to go in the 100cc senior class, brought to you by OPI Builders, with your current race leader being Roman Madrigal. In previous live streams that we've done here on YouTube on the Rock Sonoma channel, quite honestly, we've ignored Eddie Shimon because he's been able to pull out to such a great lead. There was no racing action, and we would try to get the circle back to him and grab him for the final lap. But today, Eddie Shimon is all over the camera, but the leader is Roman Madrigal. So they're still following Roman Madrigal, Eddie Shimon, JC Perez. And then looking for James Monaco. Looks like he's worked his way back up to 11th after an incident in turn 1 on the start. So it looks like James Monaco is up to 11th. So right now we have Roman Madrigal and Eddie Shimon in the view, but we're going to try to drop back a few spots in the field and pick up 4th and 5th, because there is a battle between Matteo Sandoval and Christopher Martin. Matteo Sandoval is in cart number 923. Christopher Martin is in cart 911. So we're going to cut over to 4th and 5th right here. The battle between Matteo Sandoval and Christopher Martin. So Matteo, he started this race in 2nd. But he was involved in that opening lap incident, which took a lot of our front runners and put them towards the back of the middle. Oh, we got white flag. We're going to pick up the leaders again. We have the white flag. Too bad we didn't have a camera in the pits because the two dads are cheering on their kids. So Roman Madrigal is your current leader, followed by Eddie Shimon. Let's see if Eddie Shimon's going to set him up. They're going down the straight. They're going to go through a left-hander. They're going to head down the hill in a tic-tac-toe. Eddie Shimon is running out of opportunities here. Let's see if he can get a good run coming out of tic-tac-toe. Roman Madrigal is tucking. And it looks like the race winner is going to be Roman Madrigal. Roman Madrigal is your race winner, cart number 977 on that CRG. He is the first driver in a while to give Eddie Shimon a run for his money in the main events. The only consolation is Eddie Shimon has more airtime today than he has all season long. So next up, we are going to have the Senior Rock Master Rock class. Senior Rock Master Rock is up next. So next up, Senior Rock, Master Rock. That will be a combined class. I'm going to take a quick little break here. So next up is going to be the Senior Rock Master Rock class. Our Master Rock drivers, their cart numbers start with a 6. Our Senior Rock drivers, we only have one today, starts with a 3. That's Torsten Olsen. His cart number is 370. But our pole sitter is going to be Carlos Calderon, cart number 601. Off pole, Dan Jones, cart 614. Hunter Hagenbuck, cart 624. Fred Clark, 615. And David Palick, cart 611. So we're going to keep an eye on David Palick as well. He was running in the top 3 all day long and then got shuffled to the back of the field. So we'll see how his main event goes. We're also going to keep an eye on Dan Jones, who is pacing Carlos Calderon in the earlier heat races today. So again, next up in a few moments will be the Master Rock and the Senior Rock class. So our Master Rock class is on track. Cart 601, Carlos Calderon is your pole sitter. Dan Jones outside row 1, cart number 614. We are coming up the main straightaway for the start. Let's see if our head flagman is happy. We have a green flag. Drivers are going down to turn 1. Looks like Carlos Calderon has the whole shot. Dan Jones slides right in. Cart number 615, that's Fred Clark. He did a little bit of drifting. Then he goes into the inside, going into tic-tac-toe. We might have to keep an eye on these guys right here. This is the battle for 4th. So it's Fred Clark and Torsten Olsen. Now David Palick makes a pass on Olsen. I know this is for 4th, but right now we have some good racing action right here. So right off the bat, our drivers started battling. Meanwhile, you just saw them go by. Daniel Jones and Carlos Calderon have about a 2-second lead on that first lap. And that's giving them a little bit of cushion over third place, Hunter Hagenbuch. So Carlos Calderon, he was our heat winner in 2 different heats. But Dan Jones was right there, just pacing with him. So let's see if Dan Jones found a little bit of speed here in the main event. And once again in third, we have Hunter Hagenbuch. Fourth, Fred Clark. Fifth, David Palick. And sixth, Torsten Olsen. So Torsten, he will score first place points for today's race as our sole senior rock driver. But from a broadcast standpoint, I'm just going to announce them all as one class until the end. But back to the front. Carlos Calderon's going through tic-tac-toe, followed by Dan Jones. So Carlos Calderon, he's like the Sonoma utility driver around here. He can run any class he wants. A couple races ago, he was running the 100cc air-cooled stuff. This race, he's in a 125 water-cooled engine. Both tag packages, centrifugal clutches. But here he is on his Aluminos chassis. Out in front of Dan Jones on the CRG. Both of these shops are local to Sonoma. So let's take a look at the points for this class. This is actually going to be interesting. I believe this was Carlos's first 125 race this year. So Dan Jones is applying pressure to Carlos. But this is how they looked in the heat races as well. We're going to keep an eye on these two to see when Dan Jones pulls the trigger. So looking at the points, Carlos isn't even on the sheets for the points. So this is his first 125 race of the year. Your current points leaders, Clark 624, Hunter Hagenbuch, followed by David Palick, then Fred Clark. The gentleman we're watching here, 614, currently in second. He's fourth place in points. So we're going to keep an eye on the leaders right now. So back to the track here. Carlos is still our leader. Right now, this is about our only racing action going on. David Palick looks like he lost a little bit of speed. So we will keep an eye on the lap times of David Palick. Not sure if he got shuffled off the track or is just off pace. In the last heat, he didn't make it through turn 1 without a little help from the rear, which pushed him off the track. But meanwhile, we're watching the race here for the lead between Carlos Calderon and Dan Jones. So this could be a good points race for Dan Jones. So he has two things to think about. All of these drivers want to win, but Carlos isn't in the points. Dan needs all the points he can get to close the gap on the championship chase. So we will see if he'll settle for a second to play it safe for those points, or if he's going to throw it all out there and go for the win. But it's still too early to tell, as we have 10 laps to go in the Master Rock class. These are always hard to like fill in the gaps. Like, yeah, and there's nothing happening elsewhere. Something says 5%. Is that your GoPro? Okay. Okay, so it automatically overlays. So it looks like Daniel Jones has closed the gap a little bit. Not like there was a big room anyway. But our race leader, Carlos Calderon, had a very good section there through tic-tac-toe. So he had a good exit, which gave him about a half a cart length lead over Daniel Jones. But it looked like a moment ago Daniel Jones is applying some pressure, and Carlos gets a little bit sideways going into the corner. Carlos is such a smooth driver. When his cart starts stepping out, it's pretty noticeable. So keep an eye on these two. This is for the lead. This is our main event in the Master Rock class. So for those of you familiar with Sonoma's tic-tac-toe, you can tell the drivers are not flying over the curbs like they used to. That area has been redesigned. It's been one of my favorite questions on our NorCal Mondays podcast for our track regulars. It seems like our junior and younger drivers miss the old tic-tac-toe, and it seems like our drivers that actually write the checks are happy with the new changes. But the new tic-tac-toe is definitely more technical than the old tic-tac-toe. And only time will tell if it will make the chassis last longer and save brake rotors. But right now, Daniel Jones is still applying pressure. Let's see if Daniel Jones has a run coming up the hill, exiting tic-tac-toe. The drivers are going to have 5 laps to go. Elsewhere on the track, all the other drivers are spread out. So that's why our focus here is on the leaders. Carlos Calderon, cart number 601, and Daniel Jones, cart number 614. So back to our race leaders, Carlos Calderon and Daniel Jones. Calderon is your leader, cart number 601. Last year we started doing the live stream here at Rock Sonoma, and it's been a lot of fun. We've seen a lot of great racing action. So don't forget to go to the channel, like and subscribe. You'll be notified when we go live. But also go back to the playlist. Look at some of the other races. The shifters are always fun to watch, but here at Sonoma, our 100cc classes have really put on some really great racing shows. So once again, I would highly recommend going back through our playlist and re-watching some of our past races. So Carlos is counting down the laps in his head. 2.5 laps left for Carlos Calderon. We'll see if Daniel Jones is going to make a move. So 2 to go. Like I said earlier in this broadcast, Daniel Jones is right in the hunt for points for the overall championship. And Carlos Calderon has nothing to lose except for a trophy right now for today's win. So we'll see how Daniel Jones plays it out, because this is going to be a very good points race for him with a second place finish. Because your points leader in this class is Hunter Hagenbuck. He's running in 3rd. David Powlick, he's 2nd place in the points, and he's currently in 6th right now. So white flag for Carlos Calderon. Once again, this is your Masters Rock class. This is a 125cc power plant, single speed, not to be confused with our 100cc Masters class. Carlos is looking over his shoulder. Part of me wants to see a dive bomb by Daniel Jones. The other part of me doesn't. Let's see what happens here. They go down to tic-tac-toe. There's going to be 4 corners left for Carlos Calderon. Oh, and Daniel Jones gets a little sideways in the middle of tic-tac-toe. That is probably enough of a speed scrub. That's going to give the victory to Carlos Calderon. So that kind of answers my question. He was pushing it. He hit the curb a little bit hard. He stepped out wide. That gave Carlos just enough breathing room to bring home the win for that Illuminos team. And once again, that was the Masters Rock class. Next up, Pro and Master Rock Shifter. Pro and Master Rock Shifter. So back to our broadcast here if you missed the announcements. Next up is our Pro and Master Rock Shifter class presented by Altwell. Next after them will be Junior 100cc. Then we will have another shifter class, the 125 Shifter Limited, presented by Altwell. Then we have Micro and Mini Rock presented by SSI Racing. And wrapping up our main events here today at Rock Sonoma will be our Master 100cc class. Master Shifter classes hit the track. Ryan Martin is your pole sitter, and he will bring them around. So these drivers, they will do a standing start. Formula One style standing start for all our shifter classes, which is different than our previous classes today. They do a rolling start. So here we are at Rock Sonoma, race number 5. We are running the reverse sprint layout. And once we have the drivers in a little bit of better view, I can give you some cart numbers and some names. Pole sitter, Ryan Martin, cart number 416. Off pole, teammate, Henry Barton, cart number 430. Third, Dustin Salaveria. Fourth, Brian Keck. Fifth, Brad Lloyd. Sixth, Ethan Boer. Seventh, Alan Morty. Eighth, Jeff Mills. And ninth, Matt Field. So one of the drivers to keep an eye on is going to be Alan Morty. He had a technical infraction earlier today, a little bit wide on the rear end. That put him to the back of the field in all the heat races. So he is starting 7th overall. So we'll see what kind of speed he has in the main event. See maybe if he can break into that top 5 in those pro drivers. But once again, your pole sitter, Ryan Martin on the CRG, cart number 416. Off pole, Henry Barton, cart number 430. So we are getting ready for the standing start. Looks like we have a driver a little further back in the field, getting set on the grid. Visors down. And Henry Barton gets the whole shot. Henry closes the door on Ryan Martin. He has the whole shot. So Ryan Martin has been the driver with the fastest pace today, but Henry Barton in the heat races and in this main event has had the best starts. So keeping in mind Ryan's going for points. Henry's his teammate. Let's see how careful he is with the passes. But running in third, we have Dustin Salaveria, and in fourth, we have Brian Keck. So it looks like we have 2 CRGs, a Sodi cart, and a GFC chassis in the top 4. So we're going to keep a racing eye on Henry Barton and Ryan Martin. So Ryan Martin is applying the pressure to his teammate Henry Barton.
Okay, go ahead then.
So between Henry Barton and Ethan Boer, I'm not sure which driver is the youngest in the field, but we have 2 younger drivers in the field today. Ethan's doing his first shifter race. Henry's been running shifter for a couple years now. All right, so Ryan Martin and Henry Barton go down tic-tac-toe side by side. Henry's not making it easy for him. Oh, he's actually Henry Barton is pinching his teammate down. He's going to make Ryan earn this one. Strategically wise, this is going to allow Dustin Salaveria to close the gap on Ryan Martin. So these 2 are teammates. They have a lot of practice time together. So Ryan Martin is in that second place cart. Henry Barton is your current leader. So we're going to be looking for a deep braking maneuver by Ryan Martin, because he's already been shown here on the track that Henry Barton is not going to point him by. It's nice to see Henry having a solid run this weekend here at Rock Sonoma. Earlier in the year, there's been moments where he found himself in the lead for a short stint, but now he is leading the pro class here at Rock Sonoma with teammate Ryan Martin on his bumper. Ryan's looking over his shoulder, so he's probably looking to see what kind of gap he has to third, so he can be a little bit more aggressive. But Henry Barton is holding his own. There's also a good battle developing for fourth between Brian Keck. Let's see, that looks like Brian Keck, Alan Moore. Oh, we have a driver off. Did we just lose Barton? We just lost Henry Barton, exiting Kramer. Not sure what happened. I can only assume it's possibly a chain. That is so unfortunate, because he was making Ryan Martin earn those passes. So I was paying attention to the racing action for fourth, and I saw a little bit of dust. I saw the black helmet of Henry Barton out there in the grass. The only good thing was he was able to get out of the way quickly and not cause any type of a pile up, but that is so unfortunate for Henry Barton. But back to our race, we have Ryan Martin in the lead, Dustin Salaveria in second, and it looks like Brian Keck is going to now be in third. So we're going to keep an eye on Brian Keck, because normally he's right there with Ryan Martin at this track here at Sonoma. And then we also have a race further in the pack between Ethan Boer and Alan Morty. So I believe this is Ethan Boer's first race, and he is all over the rear bumper of Alan Morty. Now Ethan needs to have a little bit of race intelligence here, because Alan's actually running in a different class, but Alan's a competitor, so he's going to push him around, but they are not battling for points together. So we'll keep an eye on this. This is Ethan's first race in the shifter. Alan's been running shifter up here all year long. Alan Morty's on the CRG chassis. Ethan Boer is on that GFC chassis. See a little bit of a head bobble from our young little driver there. So Ethan is normally running the 100cc class. So right now we're just going to watch these two drivers for a couple of laps. We're looking for action elsewhere on the track. Looks like our leaders, there's really no change there. The battle is really right here for fourth. It almost looked like Ethan was going the inside, but that was just my bad angle. So Ethan is applying a lot of pressure to Alan Morty. Alan Morty had to start both the... Oh, to the inside! He makes it stick! All right, let's see how fast Alan tries to counter back, or if he acknowledges, nope, that's a different class, just go. So Ethan made the pass, he's pulling away. Morty's a very analytical driver, so I'm sure once he realized that was a pro driver, he probably didn't put up much of a battle, because Alan's in it for the points. And right now, being that this is Ethan Boer's first race in the shifter, he's in it for the biggest trophy possible. And back to Ryan Martin as our leader. As you can see, he's starting to pull away. So this weekend at Rock Sonoma, we have some competitors away from this series competing at a national event at Newcastle. So it's nice to see we were pulling some good numbers when there's a big national race going on, but we do have some of our drivers at that national race this weekend, so we want to wish them well on the big scene. But back here at Rock Sonoma, we have Ryan Martin out in the lead, followed by Dustin Salaveria. So we're going to keep watching the racing action here on the broadcast. I'm going to mute my mic for a moment to take a quick little break. But right now we are watching our race leader in the pro rock shifter class, Ryan Martin, completing laps here at Rock Sonoma. And we are running the reverse sprint track, and we will have 7 laps to go the next time Ryan crosses the start finish line. So back to our racing action here at Rock Sonoma. Ryan Martin is your current leader in the Rock Pro Shifter class. And looking through the unofficial championship points, the gentleman you see right here on screen, Ryan Martin, is your current points leader. Henry Barton, who pulled off earlier with what I can only assume is a mechanical, he was actually running in second in the points. So this is going to be a not a good points day for Henry, but he was leading the race when he had to pull off. Third in overall points, Brian Keck. And currently Brian's running third on the track. And then let's see here. Brad Lloyd, he's currently running in fourth on the track. He is in 13th place for the points, so this is going to be a very good points race for him, as long as he can maintain a fourth or better finishing position for today's race. And as I'm scanning through the points, trying to get a tabulation on Alan Morty and a couple other drivers. But meanwhile, here's our race leader, Ryan Martin. So back to the on-track action here. Ryan Martin, 6 laps to go for Ryan Martin. So while we have Ryan Martin on the TV here, we are looking around the track for other racing action. One lap to go for Ryan Martin. So our current running order: Ryan Martin, Dustin Salaveria, Brian Keck, Brad Lloyd, Ethan Boer. That is your Pro Rock Shifter top 5. Master Rock Shifter: Alan Morty, Jeff Mills, and Matt Field. So here comes Ryan Martin with the win. Dustin Salaveria in second. So the reason I had a little bit of a delayed call there on the win, earlier in the year I called Ryan Martin the winner. He was coming out last quarter, he broke the chain. He had a coast across the line, but I believe it was Brian Keck earlier in the year was able to slide by after the mechanical. So that's why I didn't call that one out. I didn't want to jinx my buddy Ryan Martin, but he just took the win. Not sure if that's his mechanic over there on the fence, Todd Baker. Nothing fell off the cart. Good job. That was our Pro Rock Shifter class. Pro Rock Shifter presented by Altwell. Next up, Junior 100cc. Junior 100cc is next up. 125 Shifter Limited. 125 Shifter Limited presented by Altwell. Start thinking about it. So our 100cc junior class is up next. And this class has not disappointed all year long with the racing action. Welcome back, viewers. Right now we have the 100cc junior class, 100cc junior, and your pole sitter in the CRG cart is Anthony White. Off pole on the Esprit chassis is Max Altman. Third, Casey Moyer. Fourth, Hudson Sharp. Fifth, Yana Kapoor. Sixth, Keegan Palak. Seventh, Valen Venkatesh. And eighth, Jimmy Fan. Our junior drivers are getting ready. Let's see if they're going to get the green flag here coming down the straightaway. And as a quick reminder, some of these drivers will be on NorCal Mondays tomorrow night on NorCalCarters.com. We have a green flag. Looks like Anthony White made it through. He's out in the lead. We have a couple of drivers drifting out wide, dust flying in the air. But it looks like it's going to be Anthony White in the lead and Casey Moyer in second. And then let's see here. And cart number 806, Yana Kapoor, is in third. So we had a big shuffle here. So there was a lot of shuffling around there on that opening lap. Most of it happening between turns 1 and tic-tac-toe. I don't think there was any contact. Just not enough track. So right now we have Anthony White leading the pack around, followed by Casey Moyer. So Casey had a good start. So Anthony White and Casey Moyer, they're two of the kids I'm always pulling for. They're just good kids off the track. And right now, Anthony White is out in the lead. Casey Moyer is in second. Yana Kapoor is in third. So ever since Anthony has switched over to the new CRG chassis, he's definitely dropped some times. But right now, it looks like Casey Moyer is in a position to apply pressure to Anthony White. So let's see what these two kids do. They have a lot of driving experience with each other. Both of these drivers have been running this class for a few years. And it still looks like Yana Kapoor is still in third with a little bit of a cushion. Max Altman, though, he's in fourth. We'll keep an eye on him. So Anthony White and Casey Moyer are leading the field. It looks like there might be a battle for third developing and a battle for fifth. So we're going to try to pick up the racing action for third here between Yana Kapoor and Max Altman. So we're going to follow these drivers through tic-tac-toe. So Max got shuffled back. He must have been one of the drivers on the start that just got hung out wide and dropped a tire, because he finds himself in fourth. We're going to keep an eye on Max right now as Yana tries to hold on to that third spot. And both of these drivers are underneath the Speed Sense tent, both on a Spree chassis. So we'll see how well the teammates play together. But Max Altman is throwing the cart around. Looks like he has a good run going down the hill, going into tic-tac-toe. They're side by side entering tic-tac-toe. Altman makes the pass, stick going into tic-tac-toe. So earlier in the year with these layouts of tic-tac-toe, we have not seen a lot of passing action. Today, we've seen more passing in tic-tac-toe than we have all year combined. So the drivers are really starting to figure out that section. It is more technical. You can't just dive bomb somebody because then you'll scrub all your speed exiting. So we're going to try to pick up the leaders again. There's also a battle developing for 5th between Hudson Sharp and Valen Venkatesh. Both of those drivers are on GFC chassis. So here we have Anthony White and Casey Moyer. They're still running 1-2. Now we're picking up the battle for 5th here between Hudson Sharp and Valen Venkatesh. So as you can tell, both of those are on black and white chassis. That is the GFC brand. GFC is based here in Northern California. Owner-operator Gary Carlton raced all the NorCal tracks, and right now they're running in 5th and 6th, and let's see how these drivers battle. Now we're back to 1 and 2. Moyer on the outside. Anthony White is holding him off. They're coming into turn 1. So we have Anthony White and Casey Moyer battling it out for the lead. Meanwhile, in 3rd place, we have Max Altman closing the gap. I'm going to look at the lap times. I don't know if Max Altman went purple, but he definitely is the quickest kart on the track right now. In 3rd, closing the gap on 2nd, which is Casey Moyer. So we have Anthony White hanging on to the lead here in our main event of the 100cc junior class. So Anthony White has pressure right now from Casey Moyer running in 2nd. That is that blue helmet. Can't tell if that's a pink highlight or a red highlight, but either way there's blue on the helmet. Then we have Max Altman with the darker helmet right there in 3rd. Both of those drivers are on Esprit chassis. Anthony White is on the new CRG chassis. But Anthony White knows he has his hands full right now. All 3 of our drivers are tucking. Oh, and Casey Moyer goes wide. That's going to give Max Altman the inside line. So Casey Moyer coming on the short chute, went a little wide, dropped his right rear. That allowed Max Altman to slot right on by and made the pass going into turn 1. Now let's see if Altman can apply heavier pressure to Anthony. Fun little fact about this layout here at Sonoma, when they run the reverse sprint, it's a noted rule by the race officials. There's no dive bombing turn 1. If you blow the corner, there's a time penalty. If you blow the corner and make contact, you finish behind the person you hit. Because in years past, even though it's after the checkered flag, in years past, drivers would just throw it in onto turn 1 because it's so close to the start-finish line. So it definitely has made the racing much more interesting. In the past, you could expect a dive bomb if it was close. For the most part, not anymore. So back to the racing action. Anthony White, cart number 816, is hanging on to that lead. And it looks like our drivers are coming along some lappers. Oh, Max Altman goes to the inside. Max Altman makes the pass as they come across a lapper. The lapper's looking all over the place. Anthony White is now in second. That was beautifully timed by Max Altman. Anthony White to the inside, going across the start-finish line, takes over the lead. Casey Moyer is back on the rear bumper of Max Altman. But what a sequence of turns right there. Max Altman timed it beautifully going into tic-tac-toe. Went around Anthony White without any effort. Then Anthony didn't lose his cool coming up the hill. Set Altman up for the pass going across the start-finish line into turn 1. So there was a lot of shuffling on the track, but at the end of the day, oh, here comes Max Altman back to the inside, entering tic-tac-toe. So we've seen a couple of our other classes trying to go too wide through tic-tac-toe. It's not a high percentage pass going too wide into tic-tac-toe. But meanwhile, Anthony White is hanging on. Max Altman right on his rear bumper, and then Casey Moyer is right back in the mix, running in third. These drivers always put on a great display of driving. They age from 11 to 15, and it's very impressive how much racecraft they have at this age. Let's see, it looks like Max Altman has a run going down the hill. He looks to the inside. Sorry about the hesitation in my voice. It looked like he went for it, then stopped, and then went for it again. Let's see what Anthony White does here. These drivers are going to have 4 laps to go, 4 laps to go. So Max Altman is your new leader. Anthony White is in second. Casey Moyer is in third. Further back, we have Yana Kapoor in fourth. Valen Venkatesh in fifth. Hudson Sharp in sixth. Keegan Palak in seventh. Now let's see. Max Altman's getting a little bit sideways out there. He needs to save those tires. There's still 4 laps left. Anthony White is ducking going down the hill as they enter tic-tac-toe. From the tower, we have an interesting perspective going into tic-tac-toe. You just can't tell who has the most momentum going into the entry. Oh, contact made between Altman and White. It looked like Anthony just was going through the corner a little faster than Altman, and a little bit of contact was made. Incidental. They're both able to continue. But it looks like Anthony White's rolling speed is a little better than Altman's right now. Anthony is not known as a dirty driver. So we'll just call that a miscalculation of rolling speed. Anthony White to the inside. Anthony White regains the lead. Max Altman is in second. Casey Moyer is in third. What did I tell you? This class does not disappoint. So Anthony White is again back in the lead. Max Altman is in second. Casey Moyer is in third. Let's see what's going to happen here. The drivers are going to have 1 lap to go as they come up the hill. So Anthony will come along to grab the white flag. All 3 of our lead drivers are ducking going up the hill. We have Anthony White, Max Altman, Casey Moyer, 1, 2, 3. Yana Kapoor is in 4th. Valen Venkatesh in 5th. Hudson Sharp in 6th. But back to the lead. Anthony White is halfway through this last lap. Does Max Altman look to the inside here? No, he holds back. But he has a good run coming on the short chute. Let's see if Max Altman gets the run going down the hill in the tic-tac-toe. Anthony looks over his shoulder. Altman looks. Not enough there. Let's see what he does on the exit. Looks like the momentum is going to Max. They're coming to the last corner. Anthony pinches him down. Max goes with them. And Anthony White with the race win. A hard-fought battle by Max Altman, and Casey Moyer would not leave them alone. He was in 3rd, right on their bumper. Depending on how the rest of today goes, that might be the first race I go home and watch tonight, because that was a lot of fun. So that was our 100cc junior class. Anthony White, your race winner. Max Altman, 2nd. Casey Moyer, 3rd. Yana Kapoor, 4th. Valen Venkatesh, 5th. And rounding out your top 7, Hudson Sharp in 6th. And Keegan Palak brings home your top 7. If you're joining us on our live broadcast, I hope you saw that 100cc junior race. It was filled with action. Next up is going to be our 125 shifter limited class. 125 shifter limited is up next. They are actually hitting the track. It's starting to lose my voice just a little bit. That was such a fun race to watch. So 125 Shifter Limited, presented by Altwell, is on track. All right, on track is our 125 Shifter Limited. 125 Shifter Limited is on track. Your pole sitter, cart number 43, Pat Beckley. Off pole, cart number 19, the Kiwi, Steve Cameron. 3rd, Steve Pagot. 4th, Travis Bowles. 5th, Ori Della Pena. 6th, Roger Cornwall. 7th, Trevor Getter. 8th, David Conyers. And 9th, Greg Abate. So Pat Beckley, he will bring the drivers up to the grid. Once again, this is a shifter class. They utilize the standing start. And here at Sonoma, we have the limited 125. Same engine package as our Pro and Master class. The only difference is an exhaust restrictor. This class has been very popular over the past couple years here at Sonoma. And we're going to get ready to race.
Yeah, that's all I got.
So standing starts for our shifters. All right, looks like we have everyone staged, visors down. Green flag, we're go, green flag. And I'll be honest there, I missed the initial launch. Looks like Pat Beckley is still our leader, but for some reason there was a big gap between Pat and Steve Cameron on the start. Looks like Steve Pagot is going to be in third, Ori Della Penna in fourth, Travis Bowles in fifth. So he had a little bit of a order shake up there. But I have to admit, Pat Beckley had a nice start, but there was a gap between Pat and Steve Cameron, which threw me off guard going into turn one. But regardless, Steve Cameron's running in second. And it looks like Steve Pagot is challenging for that position already. So Steve Pagot, cart number 15. So we're going to keep an eye on the carts right now between Steve Cameron running in second and Steve Pagot running in third. Further back in the field, it looks like Ori Della Penna and Travis Bowles are battling for that fifth spot or fourth spot. So we're going to try to pick up the racing action between Steve Cameron and Steve Pagot here for second spot. Over the past couple of years, Steve Cameron hasn't found himself in the cart a lot, but he has many years of racing experience. Steve Pagot goes to the inside. Let's see if Cameron crosses him up. Cameron crosses him over. They go into turn one. Cameron regains that second spot. So Cameron has a lot of racing craft, even though he doesn't have a lot of laps this year. Hopping in the cart as he finds the time. But right now, he's running in second. Although he has a lot of pressure from Steve Pagot. So Pat Beckley is already pulling away on that GFC chassis. After Pat found his first victory in the shifter class, he's been very hard to match here in the 125 limited class. So as you can see, Pat Beckley is already pulling away. But there's a good battle here for second between Steve Cameron and Steve Pagot. Elsewhere on the track, there may be a battle developing for fourth. We'll keep an eye on it, but we're not going to put the cameras there yet. Right now, we're going to keep the cameras on Steve Cameron. So looking at our championship points in this class, I almost thought Steve Pagot was going for a dive bomb there. Steve Cameron went a little bit wide. Pagot looked like he was thinking about just dive bombing it to the bottom, but he did not. So looking at championship points right now, Our race leader, cart number 43 on the GFC, Pat Beckley, is your overall points leader. Keep in mind this is unofficial, but currently he is your points leader. Running in second in points, Brian Devert. Brian Devert in second. We don't have him in the race today. Running in third, Ori Della Pena. He's third in the championship race, and currently he's fifth on track. Fourth in the championship points, Travis Bowles. Currently Travis is running in fourth place on the track. And rounding out your top five, Roger Cornwall. Roger Cornwall is running fifth place overall in championship points, and right now he finds himself in seventh. So right now we have the camera on Steve Cameron and Steve Pagot. Let's see if Steve Pagot gets the run up the hill. Nope, nothing there for him. From a racing standpoint, this is one of my favorite layouts here at the track. The reverse sprint track. You need to find a rhythm. You need to make the passes count. We have a shot here of your race leader, Pat Beckley, who's just cruising. So Pat Beckley is just cruising here in the lead. He has about a 2.5 second lead, and he just went purple. But back for a second, we have Steve Cameron and Steve Pagot battling. So Steve Cameron is in cart number 19 with the white and green helmet. And then cart number 15, we have Steve Pagot. It keeps looking like Steve Pagot is looking to throw the nose in there. I think he realized there's just not enough room. But this track layout is very physical, especially in the shifters. It's hard on the brakes. But every corner leads up to another important corner, so you almost don't have any corners you can throw away to attempt to pass. Everything's got to be very methodical. As I said earlier in the broadcast, you can't even dive bomb turn one because there is a standing rule in place. If you can't make the corner even after the checkered, you will be docked time or positions if there's contact. But right now, once again, this is the battle for second between Steve Cameron and Steve Pagot. I'm going to take a quick break on the broadcast to make some PA announcements. We'll be right back. All right, back to the broadcast. Once again, Steve Cameron and Steve Pagot are still fighting for that second place spot. And we have our race leader, Pat Beckley, going through traffic. Let's follow second and third. Let's see how they navigate the traffic here. So that was Greg Abate, it looks like. Looks like Steve Cameron's pulling away a little bit. So Patrick Beckley are still the race leader. So we're going to try to pick up some racing action here for 5th place between Trevor Getter and Ori Della Penna. They just came out of tic-tac-toe. They're crossing the start-finish line. So we're going to try to grab the action between those two drivers. So we're grabbing the race between Trevor Getter and Ori Della Penna. Trevor Getter is in the Kart 44 bright orange suit. Ori Della Penna is in the GFC chassis with the green, white, and red helmet. So right now, that's about the closest battle on the track in this 125 limited shifter class, brought to you by Altwell. Looks like Trevor's getting a little bit sideways. So we'll see how Ori plays this out. So Ori is looking for room to get by Trevor Getter. He pushed it hard on a couple of the corners. Let's see if there's going to be enough room for him on some others. Meanwhile, back to the front, Pat Beckley is going to grab the white flag. So we'll keep an eye on the battle here for 5th. Let's see if Ori gets a little bit more aggressive once he sees the white flag. But it looks like Trevor Getter is pulling out a little bit of a lead. Now we're back to our race leader. Many times here at Rock Sonoma with our live broadcasts, I mentioned it earlier, drivers like Eddie Shimon have been so dominant throughout the year, and when they get so far ahead, they don't get a lot of camera time. Pat Beckley falls into that classification. There's a lot of racing this year in the 125 limited class where for 2nd or 3rd or 4th there was great racing action. So we kind of had to ignore Pat Beckley, but right now he is going to take the checkered flag and he is going to add more points to his championship lead. Your race winner on the GFC chassis, Patrick Beckley. Looks like Steve Cameron is in 2nd. Steve Pagot is in 3rd. Travis Bowles is in 4th. And Trevor Getter is in 5th.
anybody racing today who wants to purchase photos, that's the guy right there, James Kim. Follow him on Apex Pics Photography 707 on Instagram. I hope I got that right, but search that, he should come up. That's James Kim, Apex Pics Photography 707 on Instagram. He takes great photos. He is the official Rock Sonoma photographer for the last 2 years. Please support him.
All right, so we are back. Next up is going to be our mini and micro rock class. Mini and micro rock are getting ready to hit the track. Master 100cc, Master 100cc, make your way up to the grid to wrap up our day. But meanwhile, here on the broadcast, we are getting ready for micro and mini rock. So if you're watching on the broadcast, the mini rocks, their cart numbers start with a 1. They're 3 digits. The micros, they are only a 2-digit cart number. So they're in the 0s through 99s. Many times when we run multiple classes, I just announce them as one, and then sporadically I will break them up for the viewers. But right now, mini rock and micro rock have hit the track. And on pole, for our mini rock class, Gabby Guidera, cart number 132. She's a regular on our NorCal Monday show. She just did an interview with us 2 weeks ago. Go check it out. NorCalCarters.com. Matt Guidera, her brother, is off pole, cart number 150. Mateo Calderon, cart number 101. Starting in 3rd, Landon Cadora Dolph. He is our micro rock pole sitter. He's starting in 4th overall. What we do here at Sonoma, all the drivers run the same engine package. We just score them separately. And let's see here. 5th, Kason Hodge. 6th, Henry Fogarty. 7th, Eric Doan. Keep an eye on that driver. 8th, Jimmy Fogarty. 9th, Kylie Johnson. 10th, Neve Adizra. And 11th, Brandon Tran. Let's see if we have a start here. Nope. Then we're going to wave it off. The drivers are just going too fast. So our head flagman, he wants to see the drivers come down the straightaway at a moderate pace. So it's safer entering into turn 1. But you can tell the young drivers jumped on the gas a little early. So Gabby Guidera and Matt Guidera, they are going to give it another shot. Like I said, the flagman wants a certain pace when they get through the cones. You're going to see Josh give him the slow down sign. Brave man standing in the middle there. And it looks like we waved off another one. So in some racing organizations, the drivers get 2 attempts. And if they can't get the pace correct, they get bumped back a few rows. Front row. The front row? Yeah. So I don't think we have that rule in place here at Sonoma, but other places do that. And it's a great motivator to teach the kids how to roll up with a safe rolling speed. Okay, this one's looking okay. We have a green flag going into turn 1. Looks like Gabby's on the inside. And it looks like her brother Matt pushed her through, so they are going 1-2. So we have Gabby Guidera in the lead, Matt Guidera in second. That looks like that might be Mateo Calderon running in third. Running in fourth, that's going to be Kason Hodge. We're going to keep an eye on Eric Doan. Because right now, Eric Doan started 7th, but usually he's in the top 4. So keep an eye on Eric Doan. That's cart number 143. Meanwhile, back to the front of the pack, we have Gabby Guidera out in the lead, followed by brother Matt Guidera. And then we have Mateo Calderon running in third. And Kason Hodge running in fourth. And then fifth on the track, but first place in Micro Rock is going to be Landon Cadoro Dolph. It's so cool seeing a brother-sister combo racing in the same class. They've been putting a lot of laps in here at Rock Sonoma. They also utilize another Northern California track as their home track. And they go out there and they just pound laps and pound laps. And the results are paying off because both of them are going 1-2. So Gabby Guidera is out in the lead. So it looks like they're pulling away from Mateo Calderon just a little bit. Too early to tell, but we'll keep an eye on that gap. Once again, live timing is on Race Monitor and new this weekend, Race Hero. So we are trying out the Race Hero app as well. And for those at the track, we are live broadcasting on YouTube on the Rock Sonoma channel. And this class, Micro Rock, Mini Rock, is brought to you by SSI Racing. So if you're looking for race simulators or birthday party events, contact SSI Racing. Gabby's looking over her shoulder. Yep, her brother's still right there. Matt Guidera goes to the inside. Not enough room. Gabby closes the door. So Gabby knows Matt is right there now. And then we're going to try to pick up the racing action between Kason Hodge and Landon Cadora Dolph. So Kason Hodge is on the Speed Sense cart with the white and the orange. Landon Cadora Dolph is on the OTK, which is the white and the green. He has the black helmet. And looking back at our records here, Kason is on the Mini Rock. Landon is on the Micro Rock. So they are racing for track position, but points-wise, they are in two separate classes. So keep an eye on those two. So these Micro and Mini Rock drivers, these are our youngest drivers here at Rock Sonoma, ages starting at 7 years old. Generally, the Micro Rock class will have an exhaust restrictor. But here at Rock Sonoma, the parents of the Micros and the Minis have agreed to allow the kids to run the same package. It helps the younger drivers get up to speed a little bit faster, and it helps keep some parity on the track when we're running combined classes. So right now we're back to, for a moment we were back to Gabby. But we're back to Kason and Landon going through tic-tac-toe. That's a great shot. Going backwards to tic-tac-toe. Landon looks to go the inside. Does he have the pass? He makes the pass stick. Let's see if Kason can do the crossover going into turn one. No, Landon has the pass. And I think Landon just tapped himself in the back of the head to tell Kason, come on, let's go catch third place. So that was a good pass by Landon Cadora Dolph on Kason Hodge. We're going to revisit them in a little bit. We're going to go back to the lead with Gabby Gadara and Matt Gadara. So once again, race number 5 here at Rock Sonoma. We are running the reverse sprint track. So Gabby has a little bit of a lead over her brother Matt. So this is truly a family effort here with the Gadaras. Their older sister is actually somewhere out on the track, helping out with flags and the corner worker. Mom and Dad working the pits, getting the carts ready for each race. So the whole Gadara family is on board. Looks like we have a broken cart. Cart number 144, Brendan Tran. Not sure what happened there. So it looks like Brandon Tran is done. So I didn't really catch what happened there. Our camera guys picked it up at the last second, and I wasn't paying attention to Brandon. But very common today has been chains. So it looks like that was on the exit of tic-tac-toe. So it very well could have been a chain that popped off going through tic-tac-toe. That's one of the sections here at the track that's very unforgiving. If you're off by 6 inches, you can hit the brake rotor or toss a chain. They have reconfigured it, but being racing drivers, they're always pushing the envelope of the track abilities, or capabilities rather. So tic-tac-toe, it is a little tighter, it is a little slower than it has been in years past. I mentioned earlier on the broadcast that a lot of our younger drivers do not like the new tic-tac-toe. But a couple of weeks ago, we had a Masters panel on NorCal Mondays, and is almost unanimously the master drivers, the one that actually pay the bills, like the new changes. So it was an interesting contrast there of opinions. But back to the racing action. Looks like Gabby Gadara is pulling away from her brother Matt. Running in third, we have Mateo Calderon. Fourth, Landon Cadora Dolph. Fifth, Kason Hodge. Sixth, Eric Doan. Seventh, Jimmy Fogarty. Eighth, Kylie Johnson. Ninth, Nev Adesra. And 10th, Henry Fogarty. So as some of our drivers here are spacing out on the track, this is a great opportunity to revisit the championship points. These are unofficial points, but the way they stand right now, in the mini rock class, right here on camera, we have Gabby Guerrera. She is also your current points leader, followed by Mateo Calderon and Eric Doan. Those are your top three in the mini rock. Henry Fogarty and Matt Guerrero round out your top five. Again, that is unofficial coming into this event. But right now, Gabby Guerrero, the one we're following around on the track, is your current points leader for the series championship. And for the micro rock class, we'll see if we can pick Landon up on the camera. So in the micro rock class, your current points leader is Landon Cadora Dolph. Currently, he is running in 4th overall during this race. Second is Jimmy Fogarty. Third, Niev Adesra. And fourth, Kylie Johnson. That's how your championship points are looking right now. So there's our little driver, Landon Cadora Dolph, your micro rock points leader. So Landon and his dad are a true father-son effort. They're not under a large tent. They pit on their own. Dad works on the cart. Landon drives the cart. And for the past couple of years, I've seen him here every single event just plugging away. And here he is, your points leader for the micro rock class. And it looks like we have Gabby going around some traffic here. No incident there. So we have Gabby back on screen here as your race leader. When she comes back around, it'll be 1 lap to go. We will have 1 lap to go for Gabby Guerrera. All right, white flag for Gabby Guerrera. Right now, she has no one in contention. She just needs to bring it around these last few corners for another race win for Gabby Guerrera. Brother Matt Guerrera still in second. Mateo Calderon is still running in third. And in your micro rock class, Landon Cadora Dolph is a 4th overall, but he is your micro rock race leader. Let's see, Gabby's going through tic-tac-toe. She's going to bring it up the hill. One turn left for Gabby. And Gabby grabs the checkers first. So Gabby is your race winner for Mini Rock. And here we'll have Landon coming through, your race winner for Micro Rock. And that was our Mini Rock and our Micro Rock class, brought to you by SSI Racing. It's always fun watching our youngest drivers of the weekend compete. And once again, Gabby Gadara put on a dominating performance. All right, next up is our last class of the day. Master 100cc. Master 100cc is on track. So far, we've had some great racing action here at Rock Sonoma. Round number 5, reverse sprint. But our last class of the day, Master 100cc, your pole sitter, Josh Budafuco. Second place, Daniel Rivera. Third place, Scott Fermanic. Fourth, David Kao. Fifth, Andrew Waite. Sixth, Camilla Sherry. Seventh, Calvin Ho. Eighth, Bo Adair. Ninth, Heidi Adair. And 10th, John Madrigal. All right, I need to do better work here on my pre-main workups. Why is John Madrigal starting last? So the head of our timing and scoring said Madrigal is just showing up for the main, which is why he's starting from dead last. But normally he's in the top 3 in this class. So let's see how it goes as Josh brings them down the straightaway for the start. It's important to surround yourself with people that are smarter than you. And we have a green flag for 100cc Masters going into turn 1. And it looks like Josh has the jump. All right, looks like all of our drivers made it through turns 1 and tic-tac-toe without any incident. Josh is already pulling up a little bit of a lead. I'm going to keep my eyes on John Madrigal. So John Madrigal, cart number 769, he is already up 2 spots into that 8th spot. And Josh Budafuco, he is running in first. We have a good battle here for second, third, and fourth. So that looks like it's a battle between Daniel Rivera, Scott Fermenick, and David Kao. So Josh is coming around the turn. Yes, so that is Daniel Rivera and Scott Fermenick battling for second. And then in fourth, we have David Kao. Fifth, we have Andrew Waite. So we're going to keep an eye on the track for other places where there's some racing action going on. But Josh is pulling out a little bit of a lead already. Daniel Rivera is in second, followed closely by Scott Fermanick. Scott's running in third. Then Scott has a little bit of a cushion up to fourth between himself and David Kao. So right now on screen we have Josh Budafuco and Daniel Rivera. Actually, they've closed the gap on Josh. And here comes Scott Fermanick. Looks like we might actually get a battle for the lead here in a lap or two. So let's see if Scott Fermanick pushes Daniel Rivera forward so they can play catch up with Josh. He has a good run coming out of tic-tac-toe coming up the hill. So we'll see what these drivers are going to do. And we have a GFC cart that is off. That might be David Kao. That looks like that's David Kao off, exiting tic-tac-toe. High probability that is a chain. Cart number 709. That is, in fact, David Kao. So it looks like he lost a chain or something on the drive. I'm sitting in a booth, so I'm speculating. But back to the racing action here on track. Josh Budafuco, he's pulling out the lead again. So I'm not sure what happened to him a couple of laps ago where he lost that lead, but now he's gaining the lead again. Daniel Rivera, Scott Fermanick, they're still running second and third. Roman Madrigal's walking down the straightaway. Speaking of Madrigal, John Madrigal has worked his way up into fifth. So it looks like John has switched chassis. Last race he was on a pretty beat up Tony kart. This weekend, I wonder if he's on that new CRG chassis. So once again, this is our 100cc Masters class. 100cc Masters. These drivers are going to have 12 laps to go. And looking at the championship points, we were just talking about him, John Madrigal. He is your current points leader. Now again, these are unofficial results. These are coming into this event. But John Madrigal was your points leader. Kieran James, he is not on the list today. He's not racing, but he is in second. Your current race leader, Josh Budafuco, is running in third. Looks like we have some racing action here. So that looks like that might have been Scott Furmanek, who got held up by a lapper. Let's see how that's going to affect the battle for third or fourth. But it looked like Furmanek got held up by a lapper. Speaking of Scott Furmanek, he is your 5th place championships point sitter. 4th place is Andrew Waite. So there's going to be a lot of points moving around today in this class. And this is our Masters 100cc. Masters 100cc. Let's see, I was running down the championship points here, but back to the racing action. Your current race leader with 9.5 laps to go, Josh Budafuco, followed by Daniel Rivera. Scott Furmanek is running in third. Andrew Waite is in fourth, and John Madrigal is in fifth. We'll keep an eye on John, see if he can pick up a couple of more spots, as he is our overall championship point leader. So it looks like he might have a run on Andrew Waite here coming up the hill, going into turn 1. So we're going to try to put a camera on John Madrigal here. So this is going to be... This will be a battle for 4th for John Madrigal. This will be valuable points. So we're going to pick up the battle right now between Andrew Waite and John Madrigal. So John Madrigal started dead last. He's worked his way up to 5th. Now he's challenging for that 4th spot. So John is on a new chassis this race weekend. And if you're wondering why I'm saying Madrigal so much, his son Roman Madrigal runs in the 100cc senior class, and he's also in the top 5 all the time. So the Madrigals are going to get a lot of airtime. Another side note, son Roman Madrigal was our race winner from today's senior class. I should have known that right off the top of my head because it just happened like an hour ago. But nonetheless, we're back here on the broadcast. The battle between John Madrigal and Andrew Waite. So it looks like the other driver, John Madrigal looks to go the inside. Not enough room there. But Josh has a comfortable lead over Daniel Rivera. Scott Furmanek is running in third with a very comfortable lead over Andrew Waite. Andrew has a no lead over John Madrigal. John Madrigal is all over his rear bumper trying to find a way around. One thing about the tag class is many of the drivers have similar horsepower. So you just can't throw it in there, hit the gas pedal and attempt to pass. Everything is about momentum and timing. And if a good pass doesn't stick, you're going to lose all that momentum. But right now, you can tell by John's lines all over the rear bumper of Andrew Waite that he's trying to find a way by. As far as I can tell, there's really no other tight racing action on the track right now. So we're just going to keep the camera on fourth place here. It looks like these drivers are going to have 5 laps to go. And it looks like Daniel Rivera got tied up with traffic. Scott Furmanek in third was able to get around the lap traffic without any issue. Oh, we're going to have a lot of racing action here. They're going to split the traffic. Then it looks like John Madrigal went around the outside. I'm at a loss for words. I don't understand how Madrigal made it through so quickly, and Andrew Waite took him 4 turns to get around the guy. So I'm at a loss for words, and it looked like our lap traffic spun out, entering Kramer. But that was the hesitation in my voice. I thought John Madrigal and Andrew Waite, I thought they were just going to split the traffic. Somehow John made it around with no issues, kept on going, and Andrew just got parked by the traffic. So that's really going to mix things up. We're going to keep an eye on Scott Furmanek, who's running in third, and John Madrigal, who's running in fourth. We're going to look at their lap times. There's going to be about 3.5 laps to go. So we're going to see if John's going to have enough speed to chase down Scott Furmanek. Meanwhile, back to the front, we have Josh Buttafuoco. Kart number 712. Followed by Daniel Rivera. And then Scott Furmanek is in third. John Madrigal is in fourth. All right, this might be the second race I would go back and watch tonight, because I was really puzzled by the inability to split the traffic. It looked like it was just a done deal, split the traffic. John and Andrew would go on to go race, and then nope, I miscalled that one completely. But the first race I'm going home to watch is going to be that 100cc junior race we saw earlier today. Thank you for joining us on the broadcast as we live stream on YouTube and Facebook on the Rock Sonoma pages. All right, we're going to have 1 lap to go as Josh comes around, but he's probably going to catch traffic as he enters tic-tac-toe. So let's see how this is going to work out. So Josh is going to grab the white flag. All right, so he makes the pass without any incident. White flag for Josh Budafuco on the GFC chassis. Second place, Daniel Rivera. Third place, Scott Fermanic. Fourth place, John Madrigal. Fifth place, Andrew Waite. Sixth place, Camilla Sherry. So we're going to follow Josh around here on the live broadcast for the final lap. This is the final lap for Masters 100cc and for round number 5 here at Rock Sonoma. There's some great racing action all day long. And your race winner, Josh Budafuco, followed by Daniel Rivera, Scott Fermanic, and John Madrigal. And then here comes Andrew Waite to round out the top 5. Thank you for tuning in. If you have one of our transponders, please return it to Tech or the Tower. If you're joining us on our live broadcast, thank you for tuning in today. We would like to thank a couple of our sponsors. We had OPI Builders, we had Altwell Products, and we had SSI Racing. So thank you to our sponsors for supporting Rock Sonoma. And then also, join us on Monday nights on NorCal Carters for our NorCal Monday show. Tomorrow will be another junior show. And a couple of our drivers from here at Rock Sonoma will be highlighted on our panel. Thank you for tuning in. If you appreciate what we're doing, like and subscribe to the channel, share it with your friends, go back through the playlist and start watching some of our past races. And until the next race, we'll see you guys later on YouTube and Facebook. Thank you for joining.